Then he gonna tell me I ain't even apologize? Like, who the fuck you think I am? Boy, you better slap your fucking self. Ain't paying your ass shit. Fuck you talking about pay you $300,000. What makes you so motherfucking better than any of the other sanctioned bodies? Huh? Answer that question. What makes you better than the WBO, the IBF, or the WBA? Everybody accepted what I was giving them. But you, the WBC, think that you better than everybody.
Guy who was perceived as being bigger and stronger. Crawford was strong. Crawford was strong enough to fend him off, strong enough to make him respect his own power. He used his jab, he used his distance. He had poise in the ring, he wasn't rattled. He backed up and moved when necessary and kept us different. He exchanged enough to gain respect when necessary. It was a brilliant, masterful fight on Terence Crawford.
You are not going to believe what just happened to Terence "Bud" Crawford. The WBA and WBC have now taken away titles from one of the greatest fighters of this era, and the boxing world is in total chaos. Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman just reacted, and instead of blaming Crawford, they pointed at the real issue. Not Bud, not his team, but the system itself. And the deeper this goes, the worse it looks. Here is the full picture. When the news came out that Crawford had been stripped, fans thought it had to be a mistake. How do you take belts from a man who moved through 3 divisions, beat Errol Spence, beat Canelo Alvarez, became undisputed in more than one weight class, and carried the sport through the last year? Why him and why now? Even Stephen A. Smith said the move felt political, unnecessary, and suspicious for the top pound-for-pound fighter in the world. Max Kellerman said it was an embarrassment for the sport. And honestly, they were not wrong. Here is what the WBC says happened. Mauricio Suleiman claims they stripped Crawford because he did not pay the sanctioning fees from his last 2 fights. They say they tried reaching him, his manager, and even his legal advisor, and after getting no reply they chose to act. The amount they are talking about is around $300,000, which they say Crawford still owes from the Canelo fight and the fight before that.
There was a decision that he took, a decision that the WBC took, but in no ways there's any feelings other than wishing him success, and may God bless him inside and outside the ring. And I like the idea of us signing this beautiful signal.
We're going to leave this at the entrance, and anybody who wishes to sign or wish good luck to this gentleman, please do. And it's with sincerity that we do wish him, as all boxers, the best of luck, safe, and...
After that, the situation started collapsing fast. The WBC announced that the super middleweight belt was now vacant, and then the WBA stepped in with its own decision. In a moment, the undisputed status Crawford earned in the ring was split between different fighters outside the ring. No punches landed, no rounds completed, and yet the titles were taken away.
¿Verdad? No me voy a rebajar Digo, ya me comentaron, ¿no? Que dijo cosas horribles. No me voy a rebajar. Terence Crawford es un boxeador. El propósito de la existencia del organismo es el boxeador. Y que Dios lo bendiga, que tenga mucho éxito. Es un gran peleador. Ha sido campeón mundial de los 4 organismos, ya 12 años. Es la estructura. Y si él toma sus decisiones, ese es su derecho. Y lo que él diga es cuestión de lo que él va a decir. No va a encontrar en el Consejo Mundial de Boxeo un rival para pelear.
And when Crawford heard the accusations, he exploded. During an Instagram live, Bud snapped. He said, "I am not paying you anything. What makes you better than the other organizations? The ring belt is the real belt. That one is free." Bud also said, Suleiman was upset because he beat Canelo. He even said, "You were mad that I beat your boy. I could see it on your face." And here is the thing, some fans believe him. Why? Because the timing is way too perfect. Crawford becomes the face of boxing, destroys Canelo, becomes a global superstar, and suddenly the belts disappear. You tell me, does that sound normal? Comment below. I want to see what you think.
I appreciate you, because everybody in the world know you was going for Canelo. You was mad that I beat Canelo. It's okay. It happens, you know? But if you a real fan of the sport, you would have, said congratulations instead of having that little smirk on your face, all mad and pouting. But listen though, you should have took the money, and you should have been thankful and grateful that I was rocking your belt around as your champion. They got they ranking systems when people be mandatories for years, like Benavidez. Yeah. They don't strip these fighters, but I give credit to the IBF. They stripped me. They ain't even give me time. They stripped me. Pop me. Even though I wasn't, coming back down the way, but, they handled their business. They did what they were supposed to do. The WBC, you ain't never see them strip no Canelo.
Neither Stephen A. nor Max went after Bud. Instead, they went after the whole sanctioning system. Stephen A. said, "You cannot call yourself a world championship sport when fighters can lose belts without stepping in the ring." Max Kellerman added, "You want legitimacy, but you are using rules casual fans do not even understand. This is the core problem. Boxing has too many belts, too many rules, too many sanctioning fees, too many inconsistent decisions, and now it is hurting the best fighter alive."
Turkey Al-Sheikh, I have an idea on how you can fix boxing almost forever. Turkey, it is understood and no mystery that you have a ton of money. You already have it to the point where everybody is just fighting each other and people are getting exposed. And we're finding out who the best is. Now all we need is one title. If you can buy out all the sanctioning bodies and replace it with that one undisputed belt. One belt, one champion, like back in the day. And now everybody got to fight the champ. And hell, he shouldn't even have to pay a sanctioning.
Here is where things shift. Crawford is not denying that he did not pay. He is denying the reason they are asking for the money. He said these organizations stay in 5-star hotels, eat expensive meals, use fighter fees to cover their lifestyles, and charge fighters for every belt they win. But even said, "You should be paying me." And honestly, when a fighter beats Canelo and becomes undisputed at 38, he has a real argument.
Got a lot to say about me not paying him $300,000 plus another $100K something for sanction fees, right? Then he gonna tell me I ain't even apologize? Like, who the fuck you think I am? Boy, you better slap your fucking self. Ain't paying your ass shit. Fuck you talking about pay you $300,000. What makes you so motherfucking better than any other sanction bodies? Huh? Answer that question. What makes you better than the WBO, the IBF, or the WBA? Everybody accepted what I was giving them. But you, the WBC, think that you better than everybody, don't you? So since you, the WBC, and you got the fucking green belt, which don't mean fucking shit. Fucking real belt is the ring belt, which is free, motherfucker. Who you talking about? You want me to pay you more than the other sanction bodies because you feel like you better than them. How in the world all the sanction bodies agree to the same amount, but you sit your motherfucking ass up there and say that I need to apologize to you? The fuck? You can take the fucking belt.
Which brings us to the big question Stephen A. raised. Should sanctioning bodies really have this much control over top fighters? Share your thoughts. Years ago, when Floyd spoke about there being too many belts, people laughed. Nobody is laughing now. Floyd said the belt system is built to take money from fighters.
For every belt that you win, there's a sanctioning fee. So now if a fighter wins an interim belt, he has to pay a sanctioning fee. If a fighter has just the regular belt, he has to pay a sanctioning fee. Then if a fighter is a super champion, then he has to pay a sanctioning fee. This is not good for the sport of boxing.
He warned that paying fees for every fight is a trap. Now Crawford is facing Floyd's warning in real time. Floyd's exact point: fans don't realize how much these fees take from fighters. Too many belts, too many fees, too much politics. And now Bud is dealing with all of these problems at once.
Everybody got a championship belt now. Now boxing, all these belts is like trophies. the WBC, the WBA, the IBF and the WBO, y'all gotta clean this shit up. Y'all have to clean this up. This is bad for boxing. Ain't there such thing as no super champion. You guys are just taking extra money from all these fighters, getting extra money from sanctioning fees. And this goes to my company as well. We gotta clean the sport of boxing up. This don't look good. When you look on TV now, everybody's a champion.
This is where it gets complicated. Not everyone sided with Crawford. Some defended him, some did not. Lamont Roach said everyone has to pay sanctioning fees because it is part of the system. Bill Haney said fighters should not be forced to pay these fees unless they agree to them beforehand.
This new narrative that you don't have to be a champion. You don't have to be a champion. That's a falsehood. Somewhere, everyone started thinking that they have to pay for the sanctioning fee. Right, that's what the public, right? If you take a look at the public and what everyone is saying, the fans are, you shouldn't have to pay for. Well, we don't pay the sanctioning fees.
Comes out of the check.
No. It's decided way before the fight even happens. Who's gonna pay the sanctioning fees? Well, if you deliver a world title fight to a network, the network is going to pick up the sanctioning fees. Yeah, the network is going to put enough in the budget. Listen, we need to knock it off and stop.
Not every time, because I remember Wilder complaining he had to pay 40.
And Errol Spence surprised everyone. Spence stood up for Crawford. He said the same thing Floyd said. There are too many belts. That is the real issue.
What's the deal with boxers paying fees for belts? Is that a real thing?
Yeah, that's normal. It's called sanctioning fee.
Is that fair?
Yeah. Fight for their belt, you better pay their damn money, because if you don't have a belt, you're not making as much money anyways. Let's say, for instance, right, you find me a deal for $1 million, but you want $300,000. Okay, that's a lot of money. But I wouldn't have had the fucking million to begin with if it wasn't for you.
If it wasn't for fun.
Pay the sanctioning fee. Stop being a cheap fuck.
Like, come on now.
I'm crazy.
It's like I'm paying you to make me a belt. You're not paying me. So
right.
The only one that really matters is the ring belt because it's free. It's free. Like, why do I gotta pay to be champion?
Yeah.
Once you start thinking about that, like, dang,
yeah,
I'm paying all this money.
And the Ring Magazine belt is as respected as.
I'm not worried about it being, three sanctioned by, 4 sanctioned by, but it's just a lot. Like all these junior titles, and they made the secondary builds and just make intern builds, and you just got a lot of builds and people paying fees on it too. So it's just, I feel like it's too many builds in boxing, basically watered it down because people win the world titles and they're not earning none of the world titles. So I feel like it's just been watering down boxing. It's gonna be more on the fighters that's active now to talk about it and to make a change, because everybody needs to be held accountable, not just the boxers need to be held accountable. The promoters need to be held accountable, the managers need to be held accountable, and the sanctioning bodies.
Imagine that. The man Crawford defeated in the ring is now defending him for being stripped. If his biggest rival sees the system is broken, what does that say about the situation? Here is the part that blew up on social media. Fans think the timing looks intentional. Why? Because just as Crawford becomes the most dominant fighter in the sport, the belts vanish. He tops every pound-for-pound list. He becomes the face of boxing. He beats the biggest star in Canelo. Promoters are calling for another super fight. And then suddenly the titles are gone.
How's it going, guys? I'm Travis with Weighing In with Travis Hartman. Today I'm going to weigh in on the recent WBC stripping Terence Crawford of his title because he refused to pay a sanctioning fee. Crawford has now made a video that said he didn't refuse it, he negotiated to pay a sanctioning fee, the same thing he paid to the other world title belts. He didn't want to pay the 3%, which is typical by the WBC. The WBC is now claiming they offered 0.6% of his reported purse of $50 million, said that they would take $300,000. That's a lot of money.
One fan said they did not want Bud controlling the division. Another said Canelo loses and suddenly the belts start moving. Interesting. A third said, this timing is too perfect. Keep in mind, Crawford has been stripped before, and it always seems to happen right when he gains too much influence. Coincidence or pattern? Behind the scenes, the real reason appears simple. Business. Sanctioning bodies survive on collecting fees. Crawford refusing to pay threatens their model. If he does not pay, other fighters may refuse too. And if multiple stars stop paying, the whole system could collapse. Stripping Crawford was not personal, it was strategic. Max Kellerman explained it best. When a fighter becomes bigger than the belts lose power. That is exactly what is happening right now.
Thank you, GOAT, because you are the GOAT of this era. Terence Bud Crawford.
Best boxer, in your opinion, right now? I think it's Terence Crawford. Many believe it's you. Many believe you're the best fighter.
Oh, no, I'm not the best fighter of the world. It's Terence Crawford.
Terence Crawford, number one, yeah?
Yeah.
His next fight is going to be huge, whether he has the belts or not. Stephen A. even said Crawford could throw the belts in the trash, and the world would still see him as the champion. Think about that. Most fighters chase belts, but Bud is now bigger than the belts. This is where it gets interesting. Crawford does not owe the sanctioning bodies anything. He does not need them. They need him. So the question is, does Crawford keep chasing titles, or does he focus only on mega fights? Imagine these possible matchups. Crawford versus Canelo 2. Crawford versus Jiren Ennis. Crawford versus Benvidez.
Solid. You know what I'm saying?
You think there's anything left for him, coach, or is it time for Bud to move on? Or
I'm trying to figure out who he gonna fight next.
160, you can see him fight 160.
I wouldn't do nothing crazy. He looked at excellent. Hey, Blake Islam, he looked at excellent.
Is there anybody?
No, I'm trying to figure out what their team gonna do next. I want to see what's
He's
next.
talking about 160, coach. I mean, the only thing down there is maybe like a middleweight tournament, 2 fights undisputed, something like that. But if not that, then what for Bud?
Who?
Well, they were talking about Jiren Ennis going to 160, possibly going. Jiren Ennis going to 160.
If he go to 160, then we got another mega fight.
You think that's a mega fight?
I don't know that yet, but I'm saying, and the boxing fans that know boxing would say that's another mega fight.
What if Crawford retires as a legend? Every single one of these fights counts, with or without belts, so stripping Crawford did not hurt him, it hurt boxing. Stephen A. said boxing needs to fix its structure. Max said the sanctioning bodies are out of touch with modern fans. Fighters called the system broken. Fans said it looked like a setup.
Boxing that kind of helped kill boxing, okay, was the confusion of who is champion. There's just too many damn titles. And when you go to the casual, who pushes every sport, every media, it's the casual, it's the masses, because you can always count on the fanatics' dollar. The dollar that is the variable that varies up and down is the casual dollar. And that's the difference between going out of business and having a growing business.
No matter which side you take, the truth is clear. You can strip belts. You can make rules. You can collect fees. But you cannot take away what Terence Crawford earned with his fists.
What it is. Now, you can have your belt. Bud did the right thing by not paying you. Mauricio Suleiman, you talking like you did him a favor or whatever the case may be. Like, it's amazing. Y'all have this position as though, you guys got to stay in your place. Like Crawford's supposed to stay in his place, or certain other black fighters or whatever. You got to stay in your place and you jump when we say jump. You let Canelo do what he want to do. Canelo went years without fighting his mandatory David Benavidez. It's cool. Bud win the belt in September. You strip him in December. You get what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Again, life isn't fair. I'm not complaining. The man made a boatload of money. Both guys did. I'm not complaining, but it is what it is. What's good for the gander is good for the goose. Mauricio, we care nothing about you, sir. I'm just telling me, I don't. You know what I mean? Care nothing about the interview. I don't care about none of that. I don't care nothing about nothing.
All right, everyone. Stay tuned for the latest boxing news, highlights, events, and stories. Subscribe to Glove Lords and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Make sure to check out our other videos too. Until next time, take care and stay safe.